All right, we're taking the vacuum cleaner apart. So I've already got this part out, this part off. Take the brush off. So I've turned it off, and I'm going to make sure. So what's happening is I'm getting the brush stuck signal, the 4 beeps with the solid light. So I tried lubricating this with some Teflon lube and it got stuck again. So I'm gonna take it apart. Apparently there is some linkage, gear linkage in here that tends to get dirty from what I've heard, what I've seen on the internet. So we will do that. We'll take care of that. This next thing is to get my Phillips screwdriver with a little bit. All right, I guess I should have had this all handy before. So looking to see how this goes together. Looks like there are 1, 2, 3, 4. That's probably the battery. Wheels, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, the bumper looks like it comes off in halves. Then I could leave the bumper on. Looks like these wheels are their own thing. Oh yeah, battery. Let's take that off first. Hello, battery. Handy dandy handle just for taking you out. Hop. There we go. So I'm going to take out these deep screws next. That looks like that holds top on there. So I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry for the shaking. This little IKEA desk. It's not the most stable thing. See if that's enough screws to take this off. And no. What about, what's in here? 1, 2 really deep screws. Well, almost. Something hanging on to it on the front here. Okay. Let's see if we can take this bumper off. I watched a video. But I'm not following the advice of the video. I'm kind of going out on my own. This is just a trim here on the bottom, so let's see what it does. I think there's 2. Ooh, yeah. Oh yeah, see how it works now? Interesting, very cool. So this thing covers a little ledge right there. Traps it in place. And there's little springs inside. My wife doesn't know that I'm taking this apart. She knows I can put it back together, but it scares her. Oh, and there's my cat. Whoever said cats were independent, never met that guy. Never met that fellow. There we go. How about that? Got screws for days. This thing off. Sometimes I like to say when all else fails, try brute force, but not this time. I wanted to be able to get it back together. So I'm just gonna use a regular screwdriver to pry that off. Very gently. Okay. So, just pulling this off, it felt like it was hung up somewhere in here. Oh, there's the bumper buttons. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I think it's a little dirty in there. There we go. What on earth? Oh my Lord. So this was stuck up here. Okay, but that's not the motor, that's the wheel. That's the motor that turns the wheel, but heavens to my mama. My mama's name's Betsy. All right. Okay, so we want to get to this motor. What's holding that in? It's part of that. Looking at how it's going to go here. So I'm going to pull this wire off gently. There we go. I've got this on film, so I know how it goes back on. Jeez, really? This is a great vacuum cleaner. Man, I love it. It's done us so much good in our house. Okay. One, two. So it looks like a screw here, a screw here, a screw here, and maybe these two big ones go all the way through. So let's give that a shot. I don't want to take out too many screws. Every screw I take out, I got to put back in. And I've already lost count. So, 2. This is so cool. I'm hoping this air baffle comes off with it as a whole assembly, but we'll see. Okay, got that wire is in the way. That's going to be a little tricky. I might have to pull that off. No such luck. Well, poop. Alright, let's see about taking this thing off then. Looks like there's 4 screws holding that on, 4 silver ones. This rides up like a hot rod. Oh wow, look at that. That's the fan. That's the main vacuum fan right there. Woo. Ain't that cool? Alright. Well, they ain't helping us get any further apart though. Might be helpful to put this thing back on so that we don't have quite so many pieces floating around. You know, I wasn't always this good at taking things apart and putting them back together. I was always good at getting them apart. Getting it back together. Was another issue. So you know, when I was, you know, 12, 13, loved getting my hands on like old appliances, stuff that didn't work anymore. Just open it up and see what made it work. Got my hands, me and my cousin got our hands on an old telephone. It was his birthday the other day. I need to call him. An old telephone, opened it up. And there was this thing inside, maybe a battery or capacitor or something. Who knows what toxic gunk was inside of it, but it was like this gooey stuff, stickier than Vaseline. And it got all over my aunt's tools. 20 years later, she said, yeah, it's still there. I think we got to take that circuit board off. Just move it a little bit, super gently. Don't want to disconnect all the wires. Look at all these little motors in here. We got one here, there, 3, 4, 5, 6 motors just to make this go. So 2 brushes, 2 wheels, the beater brush, and the fan itself. Oh, one more screw. No wonder it wasn't moving. There we go. You get kind of a feel for how things go together and come apart. All right. May not be able to avoid taking this off. Oh, isn't that cool? I'm just getting a peek in here while I was holding it together. Maybe you can see down in there. Ooh. All right. What is keeping this from coming apart? Okay, looks like all of these have to come off, except for these few in the front. We can just flip it forward. So this one. Get a little screwdriver, see if I can pop that out. There we go. Gently does it. 2, 3. And then these two we already took off. Pry that little sucker out of there just so gently. Come on. one last screw in there, so, well, we'll see if it's the last one. All right, that's the blower assembly. Isn't that a cool little thing? All right. Oh yeah, 2 little screws holding that sucker in. There we go. Okay, so this should be where the problem is under this cover. Dust abounding here. If I'm pulling dust out of this end, we'll see. So 1, 2, 3, 4 silver screws, pinion there. Oh boy, those are in there. One. 2. He likes it in there. Bigger tool. Ooh. Three. Last one. Okay, God willing, we won't lose anything. Wow, that didn't look too bad at all. So we got a little belt. And it's been squeaking. It's been making a little squeak, squeak. It spins quite nicely. So what's going on here? is that supposed to turn, is what I'm wondering. Or is that just a race? Looks like it's got bearings inside, but I can't tell. Look how easy that spins. You know what, that does look like a bearing. Holy smokes. Yeah. Boy, that is so seized. Well, there's my mushkila. There's my problem. Right there. Get that replaced, and we'll be good to go.